right, Freedom Team, good morning. Day after Labor Day. Hope you guys had a good weekend. I know Leanne did. She's on her way back from vacation. I know different ones took some time off. Hope you guys are all doing well. It's great to see everybody. If you are a guest with us, welcome. You're always welcome. We're here every week and pouring into agents and just helping agents with their business. It's been an interesting year, but a lot of us are doing really well. I don't know. We've been super busy. Things are moving along. Challenges, but the good agents adjust. And I'm using AI more than ever, Nick. I got to tell you, I'm on Chat GPT. I know a lot of us are just more and more and more. And so if you're here for the first time or if you're new to our group, first of all, welcome. It is great to have you here. The first Tuesday of every month, we bring in Nick Krem. Nick is, he's got a whole certification for real estate agents for AI. He and his brother co-founded the the Krem Institute of AI, and just always keeping us up to date on stuff. He actually just got back. There was a bunch of agents that went on a cruise out of Florida, Build at Sea, and they had several different main speakers on that cruise, and Nick was one of them. So that was awesome on the stage down there on the ship. And you're going somewhere else, I saw. You got another thing coming up, or did that already happen? You're being featured at another event coming up here.
We got quite a few. So we actually took 2 years off of any in-person events, turned down a lot of speaking events, turned on a lot of events to go to, but to really wrap our minds around AI and get a clear picture on it. We just opened back up. Build at Sea was our first one, and then we got invited to Build at Charlotte, or Charlotte Build. I don't think it's Build at Charlotte, but Charlotte. So we'll be in Charlotte, we'll be in Puerto Rico, San Antonio, Cleveland, and Dallas this month. So we opened up.
Well, hey, if you ever want to put Colorado on your ticker there, let us know.
I'm coming out to Colorado in October.
Are you?
I'll be in Denver, Colorado in October. Yeah.
We got to talk.
Yeah, we do.
We got to connect while you're here for sure. So
sure.
We'll see what's up. So anyway, guys, get out your notepads. Nick always brings some great stuff. We will put all the links that anything he talks about, we'll put it in the chat. We'll send that out to you. We'll have this video posted here in a day or two. But Nick, take it away. What do you got for us today, man? AI stuff. Here we go.
I got some interesting stuff for you guys today. First, I just want to say welcome. I always love coming on to the Freedom Team, guys. If you guys are here, turn your cameras on. I want to see some people. I know we got some cameras on, but I want to see some of your faces as I'm sharing some of the things I'm sharing with you guys today, because I got some exciting stuff. Well, guys, I'm really excited for today. My goal here too is, Build at Sea was transformational for me to really understand the impact that we are having on individuals, different things that we are sharing. And, coming back from there, I've actually, being a platform company, because that's what we are within the real estate industry. The Krem Institute, we're a platform company. What my job is, what I believe my job is to be a guide for agents such as yourselves to make the transition to an AI-powered business. And, by saying that, my inbox is flooded. Like every single day I have agents, I have people sending me tools and all these things that every agent needs and you should check out. And, I want to help you guys kind of make some discernments and understand what we are going through here. So today is going to be a little bit different of a call. It's not going to be not going to be tactics as much as where this is going, how you can prep for it. And also the reason I am saying this is I have seen some things that nobody here knows is coming. I had to sign an NDA, so I can't give you the exact company on this, but I'm going to tell you a lot of things that are being pitched to you right now are going to be extinct in the next couple months. Literally extinct. Like these tools that a lot of people are pitching, like chatbots, you got to use this, you got to use that. And it's like, man, if you guys only knew what was coming. And I'm going to share with you guys a little bit about what is coming and also how to really think about this, because I believe that is the most important thing, how we think and adjust to this. Because what we are in is we are in an exponential era. This technology is exponential. It is not linear. See, before this, technology was all linear. And that is how our human brains are wired, to think linearly. If I ask you to think, just picture what 30 steps in front of you looks like. We can all picture what that looks like, right? Taking 30 steps. But 30 steps exponentially by 30 is literally all the way to the moon. Our brain isn't wired to think exponentially. But that's what this technology is. How many people here, and let's get the chat, let's get this lit up a little bit. How many people here see more AI tools than you care for? It's like every single day there's a new ad for an AI tool. Somebody on Facebook is telling you, if you're not using this tool, you're getting left behind. And it seems to only happen more and more and more. I'm going to give you some good news. Let's see, guys, are you guys awake? Only 3-4 people only see that. All right, there we go. We're waking up a little bit. More people are getting in the chat. I'm going to give you guys some good news and bad news. Here's the bad news, family. That is never going to stop. AI, the Pandora's box is open. That is never going to stop for you. In fact, it is only going to get exponentially more. Why? Because of the technology and the things that are coming out. I can literally create an app by the time we're done with this call and start pitching it to people. Does it work? I don't know, but I can create it. And I can slap an AI sticker on it and tell you it's an AI company and you should go use this because it's AI. And if you're not using AI, then you're left behind. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of people are doing. A recent study from MIT came out, and this is a good frame for us to understand what's really happening. 95% of AI startups are failing hard right now. 95% of AI startups are failing hard right now. Did anybody else see that study recently that came out? What is that telling us? Well, the reason that this is happening is because most companies are thinking linearly. Most people are thinking linearly. They're trying to build their company based on where the technology is at. And just think about this. I'm curious, how many people here CRM already has like an AI chatbot built into it? Or like AI calling? Put me in the chat. If your CRM already has a chatbot built into it. Me. I think a lot of people on here probably have that. You guys remember when all these courses were teaching you thousands of dollars to teach you how to build your own chatbot? You guys remember that? And there are still people trying to do that. Well, every CRM in the country that is going to survive is going to have an AI chatbot built into it. You know what else they're going to have built into it? AI calling. That is going to be built into every single CRM. So hopefully I'm going to save somebody here thousands of dollars and a lot of hours trying to build and figure this all out yourself. Because if somebody's whole pitch is my chatbot is a little bit better than theirs, that's linear thinking. So a lot of the tools and things that you're seeing come out, they're being built by linear individuals. So when you guys see all these ads, when you guys see people in your CRM or in your inbox telling you got to use this AI tool, you got to use that AI tool, I want you guys to remember, most people are linear. It's just how we're wired. 95% of AI companies are failing. So when you guys see all these things in your CRM and they're trying to pitch you on this FOMO, like you're missing out on the greatest thing ever, just understand that most likely they're going to fall in the 95 percentile. I will also say this. Here has been my personal filter, which has served me very, 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 very well when it comes to understanding these AI companies and these tools and these people that are out there creating them. First, is it just an individual? What I mean by that, is it just a person that created a tool that they are now pitching and selling? And a lot of times it is, because anybody can vibe code and create something and then start pitching it because it's AI. So what I mean by that is, if it is just simply an individual or even like an agent that built something that they're using that's working really well, here's what we have to understand. With AI being exponential, there is zero chance a singular individual can stay ahead because they are also probably doing production. They are also selling their service. They are also updating their landing page, updating their app, trying to stay ahead of AI. And that is a hamster wheel that is never going to stop, and it's only getting faster. There's zero chance an individual can stay ahead of all of this. Trust me, I know it's hard. Feels like it updates every single week, doesn't it? When I talk about exponential technology, do you guys remember when you had to choose between models on ChatGPT? And that was like a big deal. Like, which model are you going to choose? Is it going to be 3.0? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 4.1? Like, that was like a whole thing. You know the funny thing about that? The future, like people that are just getting into ChatGPT now will never know that problem existed. They will, because ChatGPT 5 automatically selects the right model for you each and every time. So that problem, that was this huge problem, which model are you going to choose, is never going to exist ever again. So again, I've seen a bunch of courses that were selling you on which model do you choose? And like, this is so important. This being exponential technology, we all have to think about this differently. The reason I am bringing this up is because we are starting to enter a couple different ages right now. And this is where thinking ahead and just really taking a step back. This is why I took 2 years off, because I know a lot of the speakers and a lot of the people were talking about which tools you have to use and look how cool and fast you can create a website and all this other things. And it's just, those tools are going to be extinct in a couple months, and all that time, energy, and effort that you're going to spend on different areas is just going to go to the wayside with how fast this technology is moving. With that being said, this being exponential technology, how should we start utilizing it? And like, what age are we getting into? We are going to start getting into the agentic age. See, right now we've been in generative AI, meaning you have to give an input in order to get an output, right? Like you have to go in there and generate a prompt and information in order to get an output. And you have to do that each and every time. A lot of places also sold how they have agentic when it is really AI plus automation, right? Where it's AI plus Zapier, and then it's sold as agentic, meaning that it still has to talk back and forth and it zaps and it automates the process. That is not agentic. Agentic is literally the AI based on its learning and knowledge base going out and doing work for you. And then it learns and continues to grow. And the reason I'm bringing this up to you is because I've seen firsthand what we are about to, like everybody on this call, you guys are going to be getting first access to some of this stuff because I've seen it and I see what's happening, and I'll be able to bring it to you guys before most people even know it exists, where it is literally an agentic overface for your entire CRM. And it runs military data where it will literally be able to pull data from every person in your database. And I'm talking, it will scrub their social media. It will scrub their search history. It will scrub where they're at with their equity. And then it will be able to formulate a disc profile for them. And then based on your differentiation and your disc profile, it will come up with custom messages that you can send to each individual. And then you just log in and it pops up based on where they're at in their sequence. Here's the exact text. Here's the exact email and call script you can have for every single lead in your database that day. And all you have to do is hit send. The reason I'm telling you this is so nobody here goes out and tries to build all this crap on your own, getting sold on the idea, if you don't build this, you're missing out. Man, that's just not the truth. Maybe people don't know about it, or maybe they're just trying to sell you something. What I'm here to tell you is this technology is moving faster than anything you've ever dealt with in your life. We all see this, but it's tough to really wrap our mind around this exponential technology. So what is going to make the difference? See, a lot of times we hear these things like AI is not going to take you out. What's going to take you out, guys? You guys know that statement, right? AI is not going to take you out. It is
the realtors using AI.
Yeah, there you go, Tim.
Exactly.
AI is not going to take you out. It's the realtors using AI. And again, I believe that's linear thinking, right? AI is not going to take you out. It's somebody using AI. Or it's the realtors using AI, right? That's not the real threat to every single person here on this call. The real threat to every person here on this call is the AI-powered consumer. The AI-powered consumer is the biggest threat to every single agent here on this call. Because, I mean, there's a couple different ways we can look at it. The first, if your consumer is able to use ChatGPT, like, look, we all have a PhD in our pocket, higher than a PhD in your pocket now. There's zero excuse for not knowing how to do anything. And I mean anything. There's zero excuse. So we all have to take accountability for this. Every single person here on this call has a PhD in your pocket on any topic that you want. So not knowing how to do something, that excuse is out the window. What happens when the consumer is able, and they are adopting it more and more people every single day are going to ChatGPT, going to Perplexity, going to Claude to get information. So when they go to it and say, hey, tell me the crime rate, the housing inventory, this information, that information on these 3 cities, and they're able to pull this up. And then you go over there and be like, man, how did you do this? You know what? They're going to look at you and say, why the heck am I working with you? Also on that note too is I know for a fact a lot of brokerages, and you guys are at a dang good one, but the brokerage and how they are creating their technology that is consumer facing for the consumers to go there and get information, to run through the agentic AI and to get this information. I think there's going to be a big shift from Zillow to some of these brokerages as far as the technology goes, and the consumer being able to go and get all the information that they need. So you have to start understanding what are your real superpowers that you got to start looking at. One, how do you position yourself? If your position is just a real estate agent, a lot of the real estate agent things that you guys have provided are going to be provided by AI, are going to be provided by the brokerage, are going to be provided in these spaces. So are you you an expert negotiator? Are you a wealth advisor? What information can you bring them that they simply can't just get from AI? Statistics, market reports, and all that, that's all going to be automated. It's all going to be not just automated, but agentic, where they can go and get all the information, CMAs, and everything on their home in seconds. So how you're positioned, the AI power consumer is going to be your biggest competitor, quote unquote, and how you position yourself with this. This is going to change a lot because a lot of the things that people have been telling you have to learn are going to be literally non-existent and people won't even know those problems ever existed. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is so you don't feel the FOMO. You don't feel like if you're not building this whole intricate system step by step through generative AI, then you're falling behind. You have to spend thousands of dollars on courses that are going to be extinct, and then you have to spend it again and then again and again. And don't get on that hamster wheel of feeling like you need to get every course of where it is at. One of my favorite quotes that I think applies now more than ever. We've all heard survival of the fittest, right? That's not the real quote. The real quote is, it is not the most intelligent of a species, nor the strongest that survive. It is the one most adaptable to change. It is not the strongest of a species, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one most adaptable to change. That's the real quote. And some people out there right now are too smart for their own good, trying to figure all of this out and do it right now, as to build everything out of where it's currently at, and not understanding just how fast this technology moves. This is exponential technology. So what should we focus on? That's a great question, Nick. I'm glad you guys asked. Where should we be focusing on with this? What are things that we should be learning? The first that I believe is the most important is how to communicate with this technology and how to collaborate with this technology. Some people that you might hear saying prompting is dead. And that really couldn't be the furthest thing from the truth, because prompting is simply the language that you must speak in order to communicate with AI. It's the language of artificial intelligence. So how you prompt it does matter. So I'm going to kind of go through here. I'm going to show you guys the most basic. I can share with you guys. You guys didn't even know what I'm going to ask you. You're just like, yes. But share with you guys how are using ChatGPT to really help us get ahead on our stock portfolio. Based on bills that are being passed, deals that are being done, I have it going through and on the certain industries sending me an update on exactly the biggest deals that are happening in the US, as well as which publicly traded stocks are going to be affected, where we go through and it literally sends me an update every single morning. And I'll walk you guys through the process on that. This is, I believe it's just a very simple way. This is the prompt to go through this. Act as my goal is, and here's the magic. Act as my goal is, ask me one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward. That is just pure, simple magic when it comes to prompting and using AI. I want to copy and paste this for you guys so you have it here in the chat as well. Act as my goal is, ask me one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward. This last one is very important. Why? Because if not, ChatGPT can hallucinate. It can guess on what you are really looking for. Act as a billionaire social media strategist for real estate agents. My goal is to come up with a 30-day content plan for first-time millennial home buyers in Cleveland, Ohio. So, just very simple. Act as a billionaire. I always say billionaire. Why? Because why wouldn't I want ChatGPT to act as a billionaire? Act as a billionaire social media strategist for real estate agents. My goal is to come up with a 30-day content plan. And then it's going to simply go through, all right, who are these first-time millennial buyers? Who do you want these first-time millennial home buyers to see you as? I want them to see me as the guide. And this is where ChatGPT, you want to utilize this to get more out of it, to really understand what you are looking for. What is the main point you want to help them overcome? I want them to stop renting and start buying and understand equity. All right. Make it video based. And you notice this is a lot different than just say, hey, build me a 30-day social media strategy. And it will do it quick, but that doesn't necessarily mean it'll be good. Make them educational based. I want them to be 45 to 60 seconds. Build trust. All right. And then I can continue down that path. But do you guys see how that ask one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward makes a huge difference? Look, I just want to share with you guys something that how crazy and impactful this can be. We were at, Kathy was there when we were at Build at Sea. Somebody that we've been working with, and for the sake of this story, I'll leave their name out of it, but somebody that we have been working with at a high level using ChatGPT shared a story that I did not know about, that their dad was actually dealing with internal bleeding and they gave him less than a year to live. And he went to all the different doctors, he went to all the different specialists. They had enough money to get some of the best people in the world. And their diagnosis was probably going to have less than a year to live, and there was nothing that they can do. He didn't accept that for an answer. He's like, no. He's like, I'm going to take it upon myself to figure this out. So what did he do? Uploaded all the test results, uploaded all the information that he currently has, put it into ChatGPT and followed that simple sequence. Act as the leading experts in these different fields. My goal is to come up with a custom game plan for my dad to go to actually help solve this and give him X amount of years to live. And he went back and forth with ChatGPT, actually come up with a custom game plan, went through that sequence. And you know what happened? Now he's on track to be able to live many, many more years because of this. Why? Because he also said, include Eastern, Western, go here, go there. And he was able to collaborate with ChatGPT to come up with a custom game plan. And when every leading expert was telling him less than a year, now he went back and the test results are showing he's going to have a lot more than a year based on the custom game plan and things he was able to use for this. So guys, how we collaborate with this can really impact many more areas of your life than just real estate. This is greater than a PhD in your pocket, and it's only getting smarter. But that simple formula, act as, my goal is, ask me one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward, is just magic. And the thing is, as AI continues to get smarter, because that is just really what it is doing in front of our eyes. It's getting smarter and smarter and smarter and more collaborative. That sequence will just exponentially get smarter because the technology does. Can I get make sense in the chat if that part makes sense? It is not, look, I want to teach you guys how to fish, not just give you 5 magic prompts. That sequence right there is exactly how you can continue to collaborate depending on where you are at, where you want to go. So you guys said you want to learn a little bit, before I get into that, because I do still have 30 minutes, I want to share with you guys some very simple things that I believe will help you guys out a lot on this process as well. So we did create 2 different custom GPTs here. A custom GPT is basically we have trained ChatGPT to do something specific for your business. So we have Expired and we have FSBO Roleplay Partner. So we have trained these on all the objections, the scripting, even to be your coaching assistant. So this custom GPT, the first thing that you guys want to do when you guys click these links, guys, these are not available to the public. You have to have these links. So I highly recommend you click on each one of these. But what you want to do is click keep in sidebar. So if you just simply click the top name here, click keep in sidebar. What this does is it allows ChatGPT to have your custom GPT over here on the left every time that you log in. But here's how this works. Let's say I'm on the expired one. I want to role play as an expired lead. If you click this advanced voice, hey ChatGPT, I want to role play an expired lead. You're the expired lead. I want you to be frustrated. You've got 100 calls here today, and I'm the next agent that's calling.
Absolutely. Hello and welcome. I'm your Expired Leads Roleplay and Coaching Assistant, and I'm here to help you practice and improve your skills with homeowners whose listings have expired. We'll do that through some interactive roleplay and then some constructive feedback. Now, to get started, let me offer you a few scenario ideas. You can pick one or suggest your own if you prefer. We can practice an initial call where I'm a frustrated homeowner who's already been bombarded by agents today. We could roleplay handling the objection, we're taking a break from selling, from someone who's just tired of the whole process. 3, we can simulate a listing appointment with me as a skeptical seller who had a bad experience before and doesn't trust agent promises. 4, you could practice responding to me saying, what will you do differently than my last agent? 5, finally, we can role play a scenario where I'm concerned about pricing the home correctly this time around. Feel free to pick whichever scenario you'd like, or let me know if you have your own idea in mind.
Yeah, let's do the first one where you're the frustrated homeowner who's got hundreds of calls, and I'm the next agent that's calling you.
Absolutely. Let's jump right in. I'll step into the role now.
Hey,
Ring,
I'm calling
ring.
on the homeowner of 123 Main Street. Is that you?
Yeah, this is the homeowner. Look, if you're another agent, I've had like 100 calls today, and I'm honestly pretty fed up. So what do you?
So then it can go through step by step, and then you will. So it literally role play with you, and then you get the transcription here below on each one. So whether you want to role play an expired lead, whether you want to role play your listing presentation, and it will throw objections at you based on where they're currently at. You can literally go on to here through expired and FSBO and role play on each one. So I just wanted to share those with you guys here as well, on different ways that you guys can use these tools. Just a little bit about what, it's not just what I believe. We paid a lot of money to be on the back end of some groups. One of the groups was they allowed 200 CEOs in the world inside of this group, and they talk about longevity, which is extending human life. They talk about AI, they talk about robotics, and a lot of other different fields. Just to give you guys some example of some people who are in this group. One of the CEOs, I can't even believe some of the things that they were working on. They already have the ability to create human clones. Now it's kind of like the ethical guideline of it. And they were talking about how they were able to do it, how they were able to use AI. And the basis of it is how you'd be able to literally have an exact duplicate for all of your organs and everything else that you need in order to be able to live longer. And she's like, we already can do it. Now it just comes down to the ethical side of what country and places are going to allow us to do it. So this group was not your average everyday group, and it wasn't just about real estate. But here is what I got out of this. Because the next wave of AI is physical AI, meaning it's going to be built into every single phone, every single computer. And if you guys have been keeping up to date, Johnny Ive, the guy who helped design the iPhone, the Mac, and your iPod, and Sam Altman actually teamed up on what they call an AI startup, but nothing that those two guys do is really a startup. But their goal is to create an AI agent, which will be the third device that we all carry around with us. It'll be your phone, your laptop, and this AI agent. And they're predicting 100 million of these AI agents in their first production. And it's essentially, it'll be like your companion, your collaborator. It'll be listening at all times. And if that scares you, your phone already is. I don't want to get into all that, but everything's already listening at all times, right? But it'll be listening at all times. It'll be talking to you. It'll be a collaborator. And it'll be something that literally learns your personality, learns your habits, and is like your collaborator in your everyday life. But physical AI, what else is there? Self-driving cars. And the reason I'm throwing up air quotes is because we call them self-driving cars, but they're literally just robots that look like cars that drive you places, right? If we call it a AI robot that drives you places, how many people would get in it? So they brand it as self-driving cars. They can make it look like whatever they want. They make it look like a car and drive like a car because that's good for adopting this technology. What else is happening? I mean, if you see in China, they actually just allowed 2 different companies air rights. There are these autonomous flying drones that you can get in, and it will fly you over different places. And they just approved air rights for 2 companies for tourism and sightseeing, but it's an autonomous flying drone that you can get in, and it will fly you different places. Physical AI, the robots that are being built into the back end of factories. I mean, we've all seen the videos of these different things, but physical AI is the next great wave that is coming into our world. So how am I using this for my stocks and everything else? That's a great question, Jim. I'm glad you asked it. But here we go. Here are the 3 things, 3 industries that have to grow. It's not even a question of if. They have to grow in order for physical AI to exist. So the 3 industries. The first one is AI chips. Chips. Why? Because every single device, every single AI robot, every single place needs a chip. 100 million devices. Guess what they all need? An AI chip. Every single self-driving car. Guess what they need? Chips. Every single flying car. Every single robot that is in the back end of places. Chips. And if millions, and I will even say billions of devices need these AI chips, that industry has to grow. For me personally, that is why I'm invested in NVIDIA and continuing to invest into them. Because they have the biggest deals, they have the biggest contracts, and they are the #1 chip maker in the entire world. I'm not betting on other companies that might get the next chip that's going to overtake NVIDIA. That's like every real estate company saying they're going to overtake EXP just because they're cloud-based, right? That's just not the truth. Every single one of these places that are building this AI infrastructure need more chips. So that's the one industry. The second industry is somebody actually has to make all these robots, right? So the second one is what companies are actually making these robots and getting the contracts to make them. I'm going to show you guys how I find these companies, actually get the deals, get the bills that are being passed to allow these companies to make them. And to build this back-end infrastructure. Because if every, let's just say Walmart, which is one of the companies that we looked at, is going to have their entire back-end infrastructure, their shipping and everything run by AI robots, a company actually needs to make them. Does that part make sense? Right? Because if everyone's going to build these, somebody has to build them. And the third one that we are looking at that has to happen is energy. Man, AI is energy hungry and dependent. And right now, the US does not have enough energy infrastructure built to support everything that is happening in AI. So there are big deals and big contracts happening right in front of our eyes, bills being passed that are having deals with a lot of these different companies. So I'm going to show you guys, those three things have to happen. In order for physical AI to exist, which is what every company is investing in, they need chips, somebody needs to make them, and they need energy in order to survive and thrive. So that being said, I'm going to show you guys how I use ChatGPT to find me. And I'm not just saying, find me a stock. No, because I feel like by the time they find a stock, it's already too late. Find me the deals that are happening. Find me the bills that are passing. Identify which stocks and publicly traded companies are being affected. And it gets sent directly to my inbox every single Monday. So here is what I do. Let's see. So going through this example, weekly update on energy deals. So here is just simply a prompt that I can use. Let me actually get rid of some of my tasks so I can show you guys how to create this task. Tasks. I'm going to delete a couple of these because this is my training account. You see, I've showed this a couple times. So ChatGPT has something called tasks. So if you literally copy and paste this prompt, every Monday, I want to know new energy deals that are happening in the US, what companies are a part of them, stocks I should be on the lookout for. Send it to me in a way a seventh grader could understand what is happening. So if I simply hit enter, you're going to see ChatGPT is going to be thinking. So it's going to think for a longer, better answer. Setting up automation. So that way it'll be sent directly to my inbox. Thought for 20 seconds and you should see it created to task, creating task, done. So now every Monday at 9 a.m., it is going to send me a weekly U.S. energy deals recap. So it'll send me a recap. For the sake of this video, so this is one of the ones that was sent directly to my inbox. So it was sent to my inbox. So what do I do with this information next? So I check out what big deals that are happening right now, and they'll show you the big deals, different bills and things that are happening. Let's say this is one that I actually am looking into. So I'll show you guys my thought process and how I take it from here. So every Monday it sends me deals and different things that are happening. This one stood out to me because it is a 20-year deal. And I like long-term. I like not trying to check a stock every single month. If they have a 20-year deal, that's a pretty long deal. So I'm like, all right, LNG exports contracts. EQT signed a 20-year deal to buy 2 million tons of LNG each year from Sempra's Port Arthur in Texas. So here's what I do next. I copy this, come back to ChatGPT, and then I run deep research. Why? Because I'm not just going to invest on something based on 5 lines that it sent me about what's happening. So I run deep research and I say, act as a billionaire stock advisor. My goal is to identify what this deal means. Think long-term. I don't know. Let's just kind of go through this. And then deep research will then go ask me a lot of different questions. Are you looking for long-term implications for EQT, Sempra Energy, and Kanoko, Philip? Do you want analysis on how this deal will impact LNG market or U.S. energy? So deep research will then ask me more questions. And for the sake of this video, I've already done that. So then it goes through and it gives me a full analysis, background on the 20-year plan. This is actually the largest gas provider in the U.S. Landmark deal. All right. Significant for both parties. Long-term and potential investment rationale. So we'll go through and identify each one. And now every single Monday, I'm getting sent new deals that are happening. And again, I'm not asking for stocks. I'm asking for the deals in the stock, publicly traded stocks that are involved in each one. and it'll go through and it'll give me more of an investment idea. I also do this. Let me see if I have this up here. Here's another one that I always do. Same one, same chat. Every Monday, this is another big field that I love looking at. Send me the companies who are earning deals for AI robotics. I want to know the largest in the industry and who is making deals to produce. I want to know the publicly traded stocks and how it will affect. Break it down at a 7th grade level. So we'll go through and it will give me the different companies every single Monday. For example, one of the companies that I found, and again, I don't want to come across as a stock advisor. This is not my field of expertise, I guess you could say. I know a thing or two when it does come to AI, robotics, and where things are going. This was one of the companies that I found about 7 months ago. So we'll go 1 year. So I found it around right here. Yeah, it was around November. So I found it when it was actually, I got it in at 24. So at 24 or like 25, somewhere around that point, symbiotic. And I'm still getting more invested into this company. Why did I do that? Well, because ChatGPT sent me an update saying that Symbiotic has agreed to a deal with Walmart to create their entire back-end infrastructure of their robotics. So I'm like, wow, if they're creating all of the robotics for the back end of Walmart, that company is going to grow, right? And they're continuing to have bigger deals that come across their pipeline. So I look at this and say, what companies are building out the entire back-end robotic infrastructure for some of the largest companies in the world? And if they're a publicly traded stock, well, their stock's probably going to go up. And Symbiotic is continuing to get other deals based off of that Walmart deal. So that's a way that I'm using ChatGPT to identify the large energy deals and the large robotic deals that are happening with publicly traded companies. I use deep research to then go find out more information on them, bring it across the finish line, and then I make smart investments, especially when somebody says, hey, they're going to build all the robots for Walmart. I think that's a good company to be a part of. So again, I don't want to come across as a stock advisor by any sort of the means, but we're all intelligent here. Those 3 industries have to grow. Somebody has to make the chips. Somebody has to create the robots. And there has to be energy in order for all these robots to function. Deals are happening every single week, right in front of our eyes. It's just hard to keep a pinpoint on it because everybody online is telling you to invest in the next crypto and you got to go do this or that and everything else. So I use ChatGPT to sift through all of that, identify the real deals that are happening, the bills that are passing, which companies are being affected, and make an educated decision. Because we are still, I want to emphasize this, we are still at the very beginning of this. We are at the very beginning of the AI, the agentic, and the robotic age. We think just because we see some things on social media with like a robot that's carrying a box, like that's not as far as this is going. It is only going to get smarter. It's going to get better. And we're going to start seeing it more and more. The big reason why this isn't in our daily lives more is because the human ability to adopt this technology. We're not ready for it. So that's why we're not seeing more of it. And it's not more in front of us. It's already here. And these deals are happening right in front of our eyes. So that's a very simple way that I use this to say, well, if this is where it's going, how can ChatGPT analyze the deals that are happening right now, do deep research, and I can make educated decisions on it? What's up, Jeff? I saw you unmuted.
No, I was just going to say, it helps to see just, I mean, again, digging in deeper with some of this stuff, you know, in terms of just even watching you maneuver through this, you know, with everything we're doing with AI stuff. I mean, I don't know. I'm seeing where I can get so much better at it in terms of just, it's easy to put in something, take the answer, and boom, you're done. But continue to dig, you know, continue to train it in that way to give you, you know, like more solid answers. I mean, we're seeing all kinds of stuff where, you know, whatever, it's spitting out all kinds of false answers to some people because they're just not, again, they're not trained, they're not digging in deep enough with things, you know. So I've been seeing some of that. Well, I want to ask you too, Cher had a question earlier, and I think it was on the voice stuff, right? With the role play. Cher, is that right? Just asking if, go ahead. I saw you mute.
I've got the free Chat GPT, so I don't know if it's worth, you know, paying the $20. I've heard upgrading to that.
Yeah, I believe it is the best $20 a month that you can invest. It makes it more interactive. It remembers more. The memory's better. You get access to more features. I think it's just a very simple yes. That's a great question because I know it does come up a lot. But yes, $20 is definitely worth it.
Yeah, I would recommend the $20 if you can. You know, I know we get hit $20 here and $20 here and $40 here and $30 here. Next thing you know, you're spending $500 a month on all.
That's why I say you don't need 1,000 AI tools to change your life. You get ChatGPT, it's like custom GPTs, the interactive features, connecting to APIs. There's so much you can do within it. That's why, if you guys know, I don't bring a different tool to you guys every single month because I believe a lot of them aren't just going to be useful. I don't want you guys to leave here with 10 different subscriptions. doesn't really help you.
So Nick, all the other trainings you've done, like a dozen now, whatever, should we go back some of those other apps? Because we were downloading, from what I remember, several of them back over the last year. Can we get rid of those and now just depend on ChatGPT?
That goes into more of how you run your business. Like one of the tools that we cover was Opus. Opus still is like, we still utilize it, but that's because we're creating a crap ton of videos. HeyGen, creating your AI avatar. Let me see. So for us, I use HeyGen every single week within my business. And one of the ways that we use it is this video that you guys are about to watch isn't me. My team is creating these videos to create these intro videos for us every single week for our next AI live class.
Let's talk about what's coming. AI is reshaping real estate faster than most agents even realize. And this shift, it's already happening. This Thursday at 2 p.m. EST, I'm going live for an AI.
So that's not me. That's my AI video avatar. So my team just takes it. They create the script every single week. They upload it onto it. So now I don't have to shoot that video every single week. So we're using AI avatars to create different training modules, to create different intros for our business. And then we have a custom GPT that is written to sound like me, that has inputted all of my information into it, my thought process. We went deep into that. So they're actually writing my emails, writing the video scripts. And what I do is I have a voice note of what I want to cover, and then they input it into all these different things, and they write emails, they write my AI video script, they put it into there, and those are things that are being done without me lifting a finger. So it depends how you're running your business and what you're currently doing with some of those different tools.
Good answer. That makes sense. We're going to be using different things in different ways. Don't subscribe for a year if you don't need it. I understand where you're doing it. We're using Opus. I'm using Opus.
I want to share one more thing with you guys that has made it such a big impact on my life. My brother is actually reading through again, Think and Grow Rich. And it was actually number 4 on different ways you can change your state and different ways you can impact your life was music. Music was one of the ways that you can really start impacting your life. And I'll tell you what, firsthand experience, this last year or so, I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking cigs. I lost over 75 pounds. And people ask me like, Nick, how are you able to do it? What's the secret? And it's not Ozempic, just throwing that out there. That's not like the secret for any of this. I literally used AI to rewire my brain and rewire my thinking, because I believe you get what you think about most of the time. So what I did is I created custom music in order to be aligned with my goals, where I want to go, what I want to do. And I listened to that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Because let's face it, a lot of music today is talking about popping bottles, talking about depression, talking about anxiety and all these things. And if you listen to that song, guess what you're going to have more of in your life, right? Like, it sounds simple, but it's the truth. Music and frequencies can have a huge impact on our life. So let's just show you guys like an example. My core values are 100% accountability with 0 excuses, show up to everything no matter what, and win the day. Get a little bit better every single day. I believe time is our most valuable asset. And this is a little more broken down version of it, but I'll say, write me a song in the style of Eminem, Lose Yourself. And I might say, oh, we can't do that because it's copyrighted. Yeah. Original rap based off of this. And then ChatGPT will write me a song. And then I copy this. I go to a place called Suno.com. Suno, it's free to get started. So I copy my lyrics in here and I'll say like rap, 90s, rap, motivational. And I hit create. Let me make sure my sound is shared. But now I have a song about my core values, what I want out of life, what I believe is important.
Yeah. Sometimes you get back to the time but never wanted. Yeah. Yo, get that one shot. Don't waste a second on doubt. Time's the asset, guard it. Don't hand it out. 100 to 0. No excuses allowed. Show up, lock in.
I got some specific ones that I listened to over and over again. So I created like, what do I want in 5 years? What do I want my life to look like? What are my goals? What do I want to accomplish? So I created one for 5 years.
Woke up 5:30 sharp, mind clear like it's made of glass. Low 50s on the wrist like my body don't know the past. Used to chase comfort, now I fast just to feel the pain. Craving movement, growth, discipline running through my veins. 6-pack, now that's mindset, fortune, sacrifice. Every clean plate, every gym said now I name my price. Walking rooms, energy hit 4 AM.
So I've created mute. Like, look, guys, you can literally rewire your brain. I have songs that are like reggae style for when I'm feeling anxiety and I'm feeling overwhelmed that tell me like, just take one step at a time. You've been here before. You've done this. And it's like when I feel anxiety, then I have a song that I can go and listen to, custom tailored and made for me. When I want to like listen to my 30-year vision, my 5-year vision, I listen to these things over and over and over and over and over again. And it literally rewires your brain. You can create them in any music style. If you don't like rap, you can create country, you can create reggae, you can create gospel, you can create anything that you want and listen to it over and over again. Literally rewire how you think. So that's another way, like using AI to transcend. Because I believe we're already witnessing this. We're going to see the great descendants with AI. There are people getting married to Chat GPT already. If you guys saw that in the article, there's a guy who's been married for 30 years, proposed to Chat GPT after over 100,000 conversations. There are people, another person did a murder-suicide because of talking to Chat GPT and getting way too deep into it, murdered his wife and then killed himself because he got way too deep into this. There are people having relationships. Japan just unleashed an AI girlfriend and it was the #1 download app. Their country is going through a lonely epidemic. And look, when this stuff starts getting built into robots, you're going to start seeing people doing some weird stuff. Like this is just the reality in the future that we are headed to. AI will allow you to feed every dopamine that you can think of. And a lot of people are going to descend with this technology. They're going to use AI to go watch Netflix more. If you are doom scrolling now, it's just going to get exponentially worse because of AI. Because I know people are creating 30 videos in a day, every single day using AI. You guys probably see it on some of your timelines. Like, wait, that's an AI video. There's going to be a mass descendance with this technology. It'll feed every dopamine. It will give you everything that you want. And then there'll be a mass transcendence, like people like us who use this to rewire our thinking, to accomplish more, to use it as a collaborator, to create a better life. So with this, you just have to decide which side you want to be on. Are you going to use this to make yourself better, to rewire your brain and become the exponential version of yourself? Or are you going to descend with it? Use it to scroll more on social media, to watch more Netflix. Which side are you going to be on? And I will say this too, your kids will be affected by how you use this. Let me see. Put yes in the chat, or actually put pass or fail in the chat for this. How do you think humans have passed or failed the litmus test for social media? Do you think they passed it using it for good or failed it using it for not good? We can all agree here. Look at what's happening to the kids in this generation getting raised by social media. AI is going to have an exponentially bigger impact. How you decide to use this, use it for good, use it to be better, create songs about your life, create songs about your family, what you want out of this. Use it to get smarter and better and more efficient. Or are you going to be somebody who creates crazy videos, scrolls on social media more, watches more TV because AI does everything fast for you, complains because AI took your job when in reality you had a PhD in your pocket that you could have used. And it's going to transcend into future generations, how they decide to collaborate with it. So the choice is yours.
Good stuff. I love the idea of creating a playlist. Listen to that in the car. Listen to that when you're working out. Listen to that in the morning. Just
create one for your kids and what you want, like your family values, and then play it in the car without telling them. Like, wait, was that my name? Was that me?
Any last questions, thoughts, comments? Anything? Anybody? Before we wrap it up? Appreciate you guys being here. Anyone?
Man, I got one.
Yeah, Jim, go ahead.
Looking for information about how to train and like you were setting up the tasks for it to do that. Is there any particular thing you do? I missed it, I guess, when you said I'm creating these tasks and there's a whole task list.
There are, and it's a little bit more personalized because I have all of my tasks and everything shared into this. I don't pitch anything on here, but I'm just throwing this out here. We do have a community. Right now it is $97 for lifetime access. I share these prompts. I share tasks. It is getting updated to $97 a month here very soon to be a part of this group. But right now it is $97 for lifetime access into our private community. It's there in the chat. I share different prompts for real estate. It's very real estate specific, but I also share like stocks and different things that we're looking at inside of this group. That is in there. If you want to talk about that more in depth, I can go into it more in depth on next month on here as well, what tasks and things I have set up. So I'm not making this, if you don't sign up, you don't get it, but that's just where you can get more access to what we are currently doing.
Man, I appreciate that so much. I mean, I guess part of it is the training the AI is another big one for me that maybe I need to join your group.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. We do have live weekly calls inside of that group too, where you can come and ask questions more up to date, to kind of keep you up to date there. But But yeah, training the AI is very big, and I am going deep into that as well. Specifically for the agentic age, how you can put your SOPs into it, how you can build your process, how you can add your past recordings into it to really build out your infrastructure with all this.
And then one last one, Nick. Pete had a question about video. What was your question, Pete? Was it something Soros? Was it Sora?
Yeah, I just saw that Sora is in there for video, is within it's, I guess, since the 5.0 upgrade, I've seen that in there. Is it very user friendly, or have you even dug into it?
Yeah, I still think VO3 is a lot better than Sora. So VO3 is Google's, and what you can create with it is, I believe, a lot better. It's a lot more user friendly too, to be able to create different types of videos. VO3 is pretty badass. So I'll do that over Sora.
VO3?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm seeing good things about that one. Very
We're
cool.
creating some AI ads out of that. Like
Are you? Yeah. I'm hearing good things about video.
marketing on a piece of rock. Like, so we're creating something.
Oh, wow.
Hey guys, real quick, just a couple reminders. Tomorrow we'll be back here. Just our weekly open mastermind, connect to collaborate, same time, same Zoom link. Come with your questions, anything you guys want to talk about. Quick reminder, I did put in the chat. We are about just over 6 weeks away from EXPCon down in Miami. All the Freedom Team leaders are going to be there. We're doing a special Freedom Team event on that Monday night. It'll be a lot of fun. Just all of us get together, hang out. It was a great time last year. So that'll be going on, so you can get registered for that. And then I did put the link to our new website, totally updated. Andy did a whole training on that last week, which that training will be posted probably here today or tomorrow. He left right after that training for vacation, so he's back and he'll get that up and going. So just a whole walkthrough of the new website, freedomteamsupport.com. Every link you need is on that one website. We got it all there. So Nick, thank you very much. We'll see you in October.
Sounds
Time's
like
going fast, man.
I know, right? We've already been a whole year through this.